Vouchers don't open doors to Texas schools with disabilities. My name is Dr. Liz Piñón, and I'm a mother of 4 children with disabilities, including CP, autism, dyslexia. I strongly oppose HB 3. Vouchers do not open doors for Texas children with disabilities. They close them. I have triplets with medical needs. Santiago has a feeding tube. Frida has mental health challenges. And Felicita uses a wheelchair due to cerebral palsy. We've explored the possibility of private schools all over DFW, but the outcome was always the same. As soon as they learned about our children's disabilities, the doors were closed. Santiago's feeding tube was seen as a burden, even though he's reading at a 12th grade level and reads in multiple languages. Felicita's wheelchair required too many accommodations, and as you've seen, she's pretty outspoken. And Frida's behavior challenges led to comments like, well, we might not be the right fit. We asked the questions and learned that our school's rights would not be protected in private schools, and I as a parent am not willing to give up those rights. Let me be clear, this bill does not provide any solutions. It deepens inequities here in Texas. Vouchers are marked as choice, but they're technically private school choice. They get to choose, not us. They have no real obligations to accept or serve these students and often lack the resources, staff, and willingness to provide necessary accommodations. Children like mine would remain excluded, while public schools would lose critical funding and struggle even more to support their students. If we truly want to support students with disabilities, we must strengthen, not abandon our public schools. Instead of draining money from our public schools, why not fix our system? Fully fund our special ed schools, reduce those class sizes, hire and train more special ed teachers, and expand access to transition programs to prepare students for the life after high school. Felicita and I agree that HB 3 is private school choice. It was never about parental choice. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your testimony. Members, any questions for this panel? Yes, Chairman Frank.
Yeah. Dr. Piñón, thank you very much for being here. You mentioned that you were searching all over for private schools. Why were you searching?
When my kids were newly diagnosed with a disability and knowing the issues that Texas have had with their special ed departments,
Okay.
Programs, I wanted to explore.
Okay,
But as
so-
soon as I went to those programs and mentioned anything, and these even specialized
Yeah,
special needs schools.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that you didn't find the right fit. I think that is a situation families have gotten in, and there's not always an option, but in some cases there are. If you'd have been able to find an option, and there are some private schools that specialize in those, and you
said
didn't
no.
find them, but if there were a school that specialized in that and you found them, might you have a different opinion? I know you didn't, but you might have a different opinion and feel
No,
like, hey,
I
you
wouldn't
had
have,
an
because I
option.
would have had to waive my rights of my student. Whenever there's an issue with my child with special needs, I'm able to bring in our rules and make sure that
Okay.
everything our child needs is followed.
I really do. I appreciate your answers. I've talked to others that really would like other options but I appreciate that you don't. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Vice Chair Bernal.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Felicita, I don't think that I will forget you.
Thank you.
I have a question. And I'm probably going to ask it the wrong way, so forgive me. I know that having children that have certain needs and challenges is expensive in and of itself. Let's say that you did find a school that could serve Felicita and the other children, but the tuition was $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. The voucher right now, the ESA is worth $10,500. If you were to find that school, do you think they should be able to turn you away because you can't make up the remaining $10,000 or $20,000?
I don't. It shouldn't be an income. We would never go that route because of the special ed laws that we would have. But even with 2 incomes of doctorates in our home, there's no way even with a voucher, that we would even ever be able to afford anything.
And I appreciate that. Thank you. And just, I know that people are listening to me thinking that I'm trying to create some sort of policy trap. I'm not. What I'm trying to do is the chairman has prioritized students based on their need. And so far, every time we ask, if the schools would do the same, they have said, no, don't make us. And I'm struggling with that. They are saying, if you make us take fill-in-the-blank character of kid, we may not participate. And I'm looking for a way to make that work. I don't like the bill. I think it's bad policy, and I think we're all hearing why. But that is what I'm struggling with. And I get that there are special circumstances, and I get that some children are harder to serve than others, and it's hard to find personnel. I get all that. But we haven't heard one say yes. We'll do it. If there's, no one's even said, if it's $3,000 more, we got it. Or we can do it up to 10. They just said, if you make us do this, we're out. And I just don't, if that is the case, then the bill doesn't do what we want it to do. So I'm still asking and pleading with people to help us figure this out, as opposed to giving us platitudes, because I think you're seeing over and over again what the challenge is, right? There are priorities. There are bands of kids. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And right now, the only group that we know for certain will get served is the last group, the bottom band. And I'm frustrated, and I'm no more frustrated than I am right now. Thank you, Chairman.
The bill provides for children with special needs to receive the state entitlement, what they're entitled to in the public school, up to a $30,000 cap. Now, it doesn't speak to what you spoke of, Dr. Piñón, about the protections through IDEA. And we've had a lot of testimony about that today. You know, the goal there is to provide the resources to follow a child that has significant needs, to provide, you know, significant resources in those instances. And anyway, but I do appreciate your testimony, and really appreciate Felicita's testimony as well.
Thank you. Fund our public schools.
Yeah. Any more questions? Anyone? All right, thank you.